Not every episode.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We
I've never
literally
seen
did
this
not
man
watch.
before in my life.
We did not watch every episode. That would
Nope.
imply that every episode was available to be watched.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We didn't
fuck
start streaming for a couple sets.
Not
Oh,
to
you're talking
mention-
about that. I thought you meant the what we missed.
I was implying that we didn't watch the last few, but I thought it'd be funny to poke at Z.
Oh.
Alright, I'll just turn this stream back off and we'll just stop doing this.
No, don't do it. Put it back. I'm sorry. I didn't do anything, but I'm apologizing on behalf of Iris. I'm sorry. You get an extra cookie.
It's probably my cookie that I earned back.
Don't worry. Oh, here. If it makes you feel better. I had ripped up the sticky note that said Iris gets no cookies ever.
That does make me feel better. Thank you, Amy.
I'm glad. Now, I vote not to recap for myself because I wasn't here for the second half of the session.
I vote to not recap because I'm dead.
I always recap.
Z, recap!
Fucking
You've been
Bitches.
offered up as tribute.
So this is we had the fight, and then we went to the Ripper Doctor Underground. I don't know what the fuck we're calling this dude.
His name
Veluska.
his name is Dr. Veluska, yes.
Fucking brilliant.
And he fixed up Vengetti and fixed up Kaya. Kind of. Her arm is fucked. He gave her a replacement, but it's also not the best. Same with Venghetti's eye. And during all of that, Lockhart found out that the dude she was working for reneged on the deal, backed out on the deal, which is big no-no.
Big no.
And so she gave Legacy just enough information that they all went to a cafe and Legacy started hacking. And then found out some shit. And then we ended up having a time to go to sleep. We came back and all I know at this point, Lynn just fucked off to go find Too Cute and admit that she is guilty of terrorist attacks to Too Cute. And then Legacy looked into Eldritch Horror coding and is apparently having like fucking seizure on the floor. And I don't remember what Lockhart was doing. I think Lockhart was just watching.
Yeah.
We had the whole thing about like trying to find out information about this shit. I think Lynn just went to get clothes, actually, if I remember correctly.
I got me a fancy eye. I got
Oh,
my eyes.
okay, that. So
And
new
also
clothes.
admit to terroristic actions in
through
recorded
DM.
I did not do
ways.
that. I did not do that.
Cosmic and Too Cute.
That doesn't sound right.
They could trace that shit.
We got the
What?
receipt.
Yeah, but that's fine because what's his face? Cartel Daddy. He
Oh,
said
God.
Diego.
he took the blame for it.
Oh,
Yes.
Strong
So
Diego.
Yeah, when does that news report come out? Like,
that
just
came
in
out.
general?
That came out. At this point, it's been a full day. That came out early this morning. After you had landed in the ward. You wouldn't have seen the transition quite yet, but there were some PMCs and officers and local officials making that swap. So at this point, it's kind of in full swing.
But basically, the announcement was like when we were still kind of passed out, just waking up kind of shit, essentially.
Yes, it would have been early AM hours. Let's see. Yeah, but as you are sitting there, Legacy keels over, just sort of frozen after seeing whatever she saw on the on her like net deck. To which Ben Getty like turns around at the sound of her falling back. Thankfully she's on like a stretcher, or she's on the actual operating table. Ben Getty's on the stretcher. So she falls back and is fine. But Ben Getty turns around and just, what? Are any of you doing anything in reaction to Legacy?
Lockhart,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lockhart would have
Go
tried
ahead.
to catch
Legacy?
her.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Because I know she was close because she has that piece or whatever on her that Lockhart snagged from the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks over to Kaya and, well, you're not here, huh?
No, Kaya is
Linda's-
there. I got the section mixed
But
up.
Linda's
Linda's
here.
from home, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I look over to Kaya like, is this normal? Like, not saying anything, but like the look of, the fuck?
Yeah. Kaya's rushed over. Now, tell me, Joe, does this look like a typical Legacy crash? After
This-
Excuse me.
surviving off of Red Bull and
That's
Spite
when she
alone for like a week?
cocoons and just goes to sleep. She doesn't
Yeah.
just keel over randomly. Thank you.
This
I
is
just wanted to double check.
this is an uncocooned Legacy. Very, very different. This would make
Yeah.
this would make the Legacy too cold, and the Legacy does not like to be too cold. She likes to ball up so that she is warm.
Like, fuck, this isn't natural. Yeah, so Kaya's probably gonna just like check. First things first, she's gonna check her pulse, and she's gonna just call out for like just fucking
Yeah, doctor.
Dr. Veloshka, quick!
You hear the heavy boot stomps of him getting up from his desk and walking across the room, and he just goes, "What happened?" And he sits in a way too small rolly chair next to the table.
She just fucking collapsed. I don't know what's going on.
He very professionally snaps into motion, and he takes Legacy's hand, puts a finger to her neck, lifts his head down towards her chest to see if he can hear breathing, doing a bunch of standard like medical checking procedures to make sure that she is not going into cardiac arrest or stopped breathing or anything like that. He sits up after a second and then rolls over to a piece of technology that's a little ramshackle looking. It is a monitor with some cables coming out of it that lead to metal contacts, and there's a whole bouquet of them on the end of it. So he grabs that string of metal contacts that lead to this sort of screen, like retro EKG looking machine, and he rolls back over to Legacy and starts to attach these contacts to parts of her collarbone and parts of her, like different parts of her head near her temple.
Yeah.
And he seems to be very calm, but he's not talking while he does any of this.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
What he's about to, I'm assuming he's about to like fucking movie like Clear, Shock, right?
You don't
Is that
know.
what he's doing? I don't know. Okay.
Oh, you can roll. You have at least some medical training. You can roll clever to try and figure out what he's doing.
I just want to know if Legacy's fucking life support shit would get fucked up.
You can roll clever for that as well if you like.
Okay. So you said clever plus first aid?
Yes, you can roll clever plus first aid to get an idea of what he's doing. You're not like a professional doctor, but you have an inkling.
It's
Okay. So
do I roll for the if it would interfere with her stuffs or no?
I'll give you that with this one too.
Okay.
So you can tell what he's doing. He is not getting a machine to zap her. He's not getting like an actual defibrillator. He is getting a device that the metal contacts will measure brain activity.
It's like an EKG, basically.
It's like an
Gotcha.
EKG for your brain.
Yeah.
and he is not getting anything that would imply he needs to resuscitate Legacy. It just seems like he's doing something to monitor her.
Don't
Mhm.
suggest connecting her to anything connected to Wi-Fi. Don't know what that thing can do.
He just, like, without taking his eyes off of his equipment, Dr. Veloska replies, "I do not have Wi-Fi connection here. I keep everything hardwired." And he rolls back away. It's at this point you kind of notice there's cables everywhere. All of his technology, all of his equipment, his computer, everything presumably has cables running into and out of it. The only stuff that doesn't have any cables on it is the stuff that Legacy has, and the stuff that Ben Getty seemed to pull out of a stash in the wall. To which he has rotated himself around and sits crisscross applesauce at Legacy, the unconscious Legacy. The doctor rolls back over. He has the machine close in tow, and a second device that he begins to screw cables into. And this, it looks kind of like a, what's the word? A voltmeter. It looks kind of like a voltmeter.
Mhm.
And he takes it, connects that to this brain scanning type device, and just flips them both on. And you can see there's this low hum of power that goes into the monitoring device. And to you, to the untrained eye, you look at this thing, it looks like a submarine sonar type image with just clouds and hazy imagery on it. This is the most arcane bullshit you have seen. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, but apparently Dr. Veloska does. And after a couple seconds of looking at it, he takes the device, the handheld device that looks kind of like a voltmeter, and turns a dial to which you can hear the humming get a little louder. And the clouds that are on this radar image shift a little bit. Not quickly, but they're shifting almost like a wind has blown a cloud. Then Dr. Veloska nods to himself and just goes, "Good. She is not brain dead. She is unconscious."
Oh, thank God. All right, I'm gonna go call Lynn.
So she was looking at the code, not the item, at that point, if I remember correctly, right?
Correct. She was looking at her screen, which presumably had source code open up.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the item again, just so we don't forget it, essentially. And I'm going to tentatively kind of like go over to the computer, not looking at it dead straight on, but just kind of like instinctively raising her left hand just to touch it, but then it's like, oh. She kind of notices she doesn't have her glove on, she's like, oh, fuck.
As you when you touch it, like, obviously nothing happens, but
Yeah.
you hear from behind you, Ben Getty just goes, "What's on it? Let me see." And he starts to elbow his way past you.
She does not
What?
allow that.
Get fucking. He's like trying to stick his head.
You
Like an
are
annoyed
already
cat.
injured, and
What?
we don't need you to get whatever that is.
How do you know what happened to me?
I give him a deadpan look.
He gives you a deadpan look back, but it's clearly him trying to do an impersonation of you.
Eyebrow
He throws-
twitch.
He throws his hands up and just goes, "Fine, fuck it, see if I can." And he goes back to his computer.
Thank you. And I step aside intentionally, like as if I'm walking away, waiting for him to fucking to basically dive for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do walk away though. I'm just like, ugh, there's no better option though. You know?
All right.
So after another minute, Dr. Veloska walks. He stands up, walks over to his desk, and above his desk there's a couple of closed cabinets. He flips one open and grabs a couple of vials out of there of various shades of liquid, and a smaller kit that contains presumably some type of hypodermic needle or application device of some kind. And almost like a soldier with a firearm, he sets this case down, which his hands are very big, and him holding this case, it's kind of funny how delicate this procedure must be, and how delicate he is, despite having such large gorilla palms, right? He very deftly opens the case, takes out what you can see is an air hypo rather than a hypodermic needle. He connects he takes two of these vials and then opens a compartment on the side of the air hypo and loads them in it, side by side, not stacked on top of one another, and then closes the air hypo, and you hear of like puncture and then seal. And he just casually takes a few quick strides over to Legacy, and he takes the air hypo and twists the nozzle, pops the nozzle off. It looked like an inhaler. And he takes it, puts the inhaler nozzle away, so it's just like a hole, and then reaches into his chest pocket of his coat and pulls out an air hypo that has two little prongs on it. And when he puts that and screws that into the air hypo, you can suddenly see that, oh, it's for a nose. It's a nostril one rather than an oral one. And just as quickly as he loops that in there and around it, he sticks it up Legacy's nose and presses in. And Legacy, you wake up with 1000% energy.
Adrenaline.
You just drank like 30 Red Bulls in 5 seconds, and you like are shocked awake.
She just probably like blasts up off the stretcher.
You blast upright from the stretcher, and then the air hypo goes skittering across the room, and he just goes, "Good," and he just walks over there and starts to dig around to get it.
Oh, wait, what? What happened? Ooh.
You don't remember what happened? You remember like doing some isolation shit on your computer, and then you were here.
Am I wired up still as well?
It's coming down. It's coming down.
I mean,
but
wired up to the machine.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah. But the high is coming down. It is a fast acting but not lingering type of energy boost. So you can feel like the jittery tingliness starting to leave you, literally second after second.
She's probably like half crouched up and is like looking around, and she looks at Lockhart and grabs her sleeve. What? Why? And she like holds up some of the wires that are still connected to her. Like, explain.
When you grab Lockhart's sleeve, essentially, she has this like look of like, what is this that is touching me? Kind of thing. Like, this is not normal. Okay. You you passed out after doing whatever that was on that computer. I suggest taking care and deleting it or whatever.
I passed out. Pass out very often. I don't. From my computer?
Ben Getty, he at this point has turned away and continued doing his own thing on his computer that he, I guess, stashed away here. And he turns, looks over his shoulder with like a shit-eating grin and narrowed eyes, and he just goes, "Guess you couldn't hack it." Then turns back to his
Legacy
computer.
lets go of the sleeve, starts yanking off wires, and with the last strength of adrenaline, tries to launch at Bingetti.
Lockhart grabs her fucking collar. Hell no.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Chihuahuas.
Don't worry. I'm gonna have Kai get back in so he doesn't start shit. Is Linda's back already? Because Kai went out to call her and fill her in.
I want Legacy to like manage to swing a leg out and kick because she has stopped like midair and just knock the fucking stretcher over.
roll a
God.
tough. I will make this DC a lot lower considering you're hyped up on air
Holy
hypoadrenaline.
I add my parkour to it since I'm like hanging by my collar.
I will say, because you're using your foot and I think it's funny, you can add parkour to it.
Nope.
That's a crit fail.
You
Holy shit.
go to swing, and not only do you like Lockhart grabbing your collar and pulling you away just in the nick of time, your foot goes wide, and you knock over like a nearby table that had a bunch of instruments and technology, and that brain scanning device that Dr. Veloska had set on it, to which it just crashes to the ground. There's the sound of like shattering and breaking and just all sorts of catastrophic noise. To which Dr. Veloska, who is currently on all fours trying to reach and grab the air hypo that was jettisoned into the corner from underneath his desk, he just stops moving and looks over at the crash, and then looks back towards the air hypo and just goes, "Ugh." Bingetti looks at the crash and then turns to you and just goes, "Why'd you do that?"
Stop antagonizing her, Bingetti. Or Johan.
Just murder. Murder!
I look over to Dr. Velosa. I'm like, would you like me to take her outside?
No, she's fine. That was an old piece of equipment anyway. It's not like I used it. And just waves a hand.
Sorry.
You're not like he clearly sounds defeated, but this honestly this level of energy is pretty typical for him. Bingetti turns and looks at the computer that you had though, Legacy, and his eyes kind of focus on it, and he sees the cable running to your arm, and he narrows his eyes and says, "So, what actually happened?" Like, yeah, jokes aside, you fell over and it was funny, but like, what did you see?
Do I remember at least trying to open the source code?
Yes, you remember like isolating it, putting it on the computer, and you're like, "I want to open this," and then you woke up from an air hypo.
If I look back towards the computer right now,
Mhm.
is everything like closed off?
Let me see. I don't believe Lockhart closed it.
No, I did not.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and knock yourself out again, Lockhart is not going to stop you.
Well, see,
Okay,
there's also the
so-
issue of her arm is still fucking attached to the computer.
Yes. So you look over, and the screen it's facing like slightly tangential from you. You can kind of see what's on there, but you recognize it and you're like, okay, it looks like there's something pulled up on the computer. But you can't make it out from without going over there and looking at it.
You're like fucking matrix coding.
Well,
She-
all right. Looks like
Yeah, Kaya's outside on the phone with Lindis and just hears crash inside.
oh my god, I gotta go. Hangs up.
Lindis, you are at this moment finishing up ordering your special order like hollow form eyes that are coming from Earth, from a very, very not polluted area, which is asking a lot. They are anticipated to arrive within a few days, and you have already worked out a deal with Ben Getty to have him fuck around with it so that you can find out.
Yeah.
The actual like mechanical place you went to, I won't describe. It's just got it has a bunch of optical enhancements and accoutrement.
That's fine.
That's yeah. But you got the call from Kaya about Legacy passing out, waking up, and doing something, and then you hear a crash over the speaker, and then Kaya's like, I gotta go.
Ah,
That's exactly how she said it.
It's like panicked until she hears the crash, and then it's like, oh.
Oh, she's up. All right.
okay. Sounds like they've got it under control then. I'm gonna go stream with Too Cute and Cosmic.
Did you correct me if I'm wrong? I don't think you gave Too Cute an exact location.
I told her that I was at the internet cafe with the area.
Yeah, because you were messaging her while you were at the internet cafe. It's around this time that you start to walk back. You get a message from Too Cute. It just says, "Where are you?"
Where are you?
And she takes. You get a message of a picture of the internet cafe that you had mentioned.
I'll head it on back. Give me a minute. I was like on my way back. How far am I from her at that point when she messaged me?
It would be a walk. It would not be. It's not impossible to do. It's just going to take time. So you could probably walk there in probably 20 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I caught up to her. Why are you here?
So you start walking over to, as you're walking to the actual internet cafe, you take notice of all of these PMCs. And you know they're PMCs because they are more heavily armed than the local police. They are wearing what appears to be some mixture of tan and black body armor that is stacked in such a way that they look like a fucking Destiny character. They are more or less armored and augmented very heavily with thick plating that covers their chest and thighs, arms, biceps, and a helmet that is a very like the archetypical future helmet where it's just kind of like sheer angles and there's like two little slits on the front that would be the optical input areas. And these guys are walking up and down different parts of the street. They are carrying very, very heavy firearms. The actual firearms they're carrying are they look more or less like a SPAS 12 shotgun, but there is a hose that goes down from where the handle is into a pack on their back. And that you're not entirely sure how that works, but apparently they ghost bustin' now. And they're patrolling the streets. They have no logo on their armor either. They are unmarked PMCs. You would assume that they're Tetsuo PMCs, or at least contracted by Tetsuo, but they are otherwise, or you would have otherwise no idea who they're affiliated with. They don't stop you or harass you, but you can definitely tell that a few of them see you, and then there's an exchange where one of them nods their head towards you, and the other doesn't react, and you continue on unperturbed in your march towards the internet cafe. As you get closer and closer, you round the corner, and you can see the internet cafe from where you're standing. Standing out front of the internet cafe is in sport shorts and a sports bra with a track jacket and very, very sleek shoes with the types of laces that she has on her shoes are the Back to the Future kind, where it laces itself and there's no actual like hanging lace. So they are cinched to her foot, and propped over her shoulder is a baseball bat, and she's just hanging out there chewing bubblegum. She has a backpack on for some reason. And beside her, you see a dude propped up against the wall. Well, not propped up, posted up against the wall. His back to it, just kind of picking his ear, not really paying attention. He's wearing a red t-shirt and cargo shorts and sandals. And he's got messy black hair and kind of tan skin. And you recognize Cosmic and his typical aloofness where he's just kind of hanging out in the background.
You two came in. You two both came. That was a surprise.
She pops a bubble very loudly and then nods towards Cosmic, just goes, I made him come. Oh, and she does a quick scan left and right, and she looks back to you. Explain what is going on.
Well, it's exactly like I said. We went to the races. My friend was winning, and then all of a sudden, like a giant metallic tentacle thing shot up and almost killed her. And then after that, like these things appeared. I don't know exactly what they are, but they started doing a lot of damage.
She narrows her eyes and leans in really close. She is scanning you, trying to get a read on you, because you're the more yeah. And she looks into your eyes for probably a good 30 or 45 seconds, like searching for something, and then after a while, or after that, she leans back and nods her head and just goes, okay, you're not lying. I believe you. I don't understand, but I believe you.
I don't understand either. Yeah.
Cosmic, at this point, he just waves. Hey.
You can see it already. Don't just stand there. Linda just sits down.
Cosmic, after a pause, just goes, and then sits down. And he pulls out his phone and starts to flip around on his phone. Cute, too cute. Flips the baseball bat and sets it down. And it looks wooden, but you would be hard pressed to find a wooden baseball bat at this time. Like, wood is a very, very luxury type thing in this area at this point. So it's more than likely fake. But she sets the bat upside down and props up against the chair and drums her fingers on the table and just goes, so, where did this thing go?
Well, after it took a bath in fire, it like retreated into the ground.
Like into the sewers.
Yeah, that's right.
And she looks left and right and then leans in really close, pulls out her phone and types out a message on it. She doesn't send it, but she types out a message and it says, "And you blew it up?" Question mark.
I nod.
She erases it and then with one hand very quickly swipes, and the next text reads, "How?"
Thermite.
Are you saying thermite, or are you
No,
are you like?
I'm typing it,
Okay.
obviously. I'm
Okay,
not-
okay. As you start, you like take her phone and swipe, and she looks at it and just narrows her eyes and looks. She looks up at you and does that thing where she's like looking into your eyes, but it takes a lot less time now, just a few seconds, and she nods. After another few seconds, a waitress comes up and just goes, "Here are your drinks," and sets them on the counter or on the table, and then starts to leave. And Cosmic leans forward and grabs it. It is like he ordered 3 of the same drink, and it is like on the menu. It is called the Omega Slush. It is literally every flavor of slushy that is on their menu mixed into one gigantic cup.
Oh no.
And he ordered 3. It is a very, very large slushy, and he just takes one and just very quietly sips, just watching.
Is it good? Does it actually taste good?
It is extremely sweet and a little tart, but it's not bad. It just tastes like it tastes like chaotic. It tastes like someone was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? That is the flavor.
Okay, I'm fine with this then.
Too Cute looks over and then she looks at it, regards it, and then doesn't drink. But she looks at you and types out on her phone, "What are you doing now?"
Well, one of my friends is getting repaired at the doctor that we all stopped at. I'm just kind of sitting here.
He looks at Cosmic, and Cosmic just slurps and shrugs. He's not been reading the conversation. He's literally just been sitting in silence. He Too Cute looks back to you and narrows her eyes again, and then she starts speaking rather than typing. "So, your friends are okay?"
Yeah, they got beat up pretty badly, but they'll live.
She nods. "I don't know if you'll be able to get out of this ward. Not easily."
Yeah, I saw all the soldiers, and some of them even looked at me. Wonder what that was about.
"I was the last train out. When I got off the station, they closed it down."
Well, where are you gonna stay?
He shrugs and just goes, "With you."
Okay.
Cosmic just still sitting there. You hear the slurp of bottom of the drink. Just
Jesus, go slower, man! You gotta respect the drink!
he looks at the empty cup and then looks back at you and just goes, "Yeah, it was just really good."
What about you? Where are you gonna stay?
He shrugs.
Okay, you can stay with me too.
"Thanks." He looks over at Too Cute and then looks at her drink. And then Too Cute just like deadpan stares at him. And they are locked in a stare. And he slowly reaches over and takes her drink and starts sliding it towards himself. And she doesn't stop him, but she's just staring at him this whole time, totally unamused. And he just starts slurping it.
Power move.
Too Cute looks back to you and just goes, "Okay, take me to your friends."
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
I get back to my friends.
Oh my god.
Velasquez gonna kick us the fuck out.
Yeah.
His little tiny apartment. We just keep
Fucking
bringing more
hell.
people.
Yeah, I was like, we're stuck in Sheehan Ward. Is that the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay.
What's with the bat, by the way?
This is not a bad ward to be stuck in for the most part. As long as you have enough money, you can pretty much live in this ward. It has food and commercial goods and hotels.
Yeah. It's the money that's the problem.
This is true. But you all start walking back towards Dr. Veloska's little shop.
What's with the bat, by the way?
She doesn't look at you, and you see her pop her gum, which you forgot was in her mouth. She had just not popped it for a while. And after that loud pop, she just goes, "Just in case."
Understandable. Have a nice day.
As you guys are walking back, and in Dr. Veloska's office, Kaya, you walk back inside, and you see the destroyed thing, Dr. Veloska under the desk grabbing at something, and Ben Getty just like confusedly looking at a disgruntled and now de-wired Legacy.
What the fuck happened? I was gone for what? 2 minutes?
Ben Getty looks up and then raises an eyebrow. Just like, nothing happened.
Lockout. What happened?
Your friend can't control her anger.
Your friend
my
can't
goodness.
control his mouth.
What did I even say?
Lockhart just chuckles at that.
Oh my fucking god. Alright. Legacy, can you help Dr. Veloshka get the thing under the couch? I'm gonna try and fix this shit.
No need, I got it. You hear a ow! And then he lifts his head out from under the desk and has the air hypo pinched between his thumb and middle finger. Just like barely grabbing onto it.
Legacy looks at him and then looks back at the computer because Bengetti had asked a question.
Mm-hmm. He asked if you remembered anything.
Ew. I opened the source code and I passed out. And that's not problematic at all.
Ben Getty looks incredulous. Just gets this thoughtful look on his face. Just goes, "What could make someone piss out from looking at code? What?
Maybe.
I don't know. Did you not eat breakfast?"
Something that can go through TVs.
He looks over to Lockhart and raises an eyebrow at her and says, "Well, I still haven't seen this thing. So, estimating its capabilities is a bit beyond my purview. I could take a look at the source code." And he looks
No.
over to Legacy just like, "Meh, maybe?"
Legacy like looks at him. There's like a moment of the gremlin let him pass out too, and then she pauses and squints. You got a mechanical eye though.
What does that have to do with anything?
If it travels through machines, I don't know what's gonna happen if it gets into your eye. I don't think Velasco
Well-
wants to replace it again.
I'll just cover it up. Use my good eye. And he points to his other eye. He, like, after he says that, he takes his shirt and then pulls it up over half of his face so that it covers his eye. And then he gestures to it just like, see?
What?
So his like ear and eye and part of his hair are sticking out of the collar of his shirt.
What the fuck?
Legacy walks over to her computer and unplugs her hacking cord because now it should be completely isolated on the computer and not on her fucking arm anymore, waiting to blow up. And we'll start moving over towards Vengetti to show him the computer.
Hey, hold the fuck up!
As you get closer to
Stop,
Vengetti,
stop.
he starts doing grabby hands.
No, the guy's gonna step in
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah,
like,
Lockhart too.
or- yeah, hold the
What?
fuck up. You, she points to Vengetti. No, that's not. I don't think covering your fucking eye with a shirt's gonna protect you from whatever the fuck just caused you to pass out from looking at fucking code. And you, can't you just throw out the fucking laptop?
Well, if
What?
he passes out, then we know it's really the code, and I know if I really need to throw out the laptop.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna piss out because I'm not fucking weenie. He sticks out his tongue at Legacy.
Oh my god.
If you're so insistent on looking at the code, can you at least finish that so we have a failsafe?
He looks down at your glove and he just goes, "Oh boy, this requires a lot more than one day's work. I can finish it, but I'd need to get some of the stuff from my lab to make it up to snuff. We could
No.
probably patchwork it with some of the doc stuff, if you don't care. It'll look like shit, but it'll work like a little."
If I could at least use it once, that'll be fine.
Doc! Dr. Velasco just goes, "Shut up," and then walks to the next room.
Kaya snorts.
Legacy starts working her way around Kaya and Lockhart.
No. She is body blocking Legacy from Vengetti. We're
I feel
fucking
like
talking about
Kaya-
this.
I feel like Kai and Lockhart are like back to back
Yeah, they are. Like,
between the two.
yeah, just like, no, we're fucking talking about this before we do anything.
Yeah, well, why can't we talk and do something else? We're all
no,
aging,
why don't you just
dying
keep
every
working
minute,
on the fucking glove?
trying to accomplish a lot before I pass out, or pass on.
Just fucking work on the glove. I can help you if you need the help.
Fine, I'm gonna work on the glove. And he, like, begrudgingly shifts in his seat and then hops off the table and starts to wander to a different part of the doctor's shop and start to grab some scraps from different locations. And he's just collecting some things, like different pieces of metal tubing, or not metal tubing, metal like containing clips, and a bit of like rubber tubing and some synthetic skin. He's grabbing a whole mess of random garbage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Imagine Legacy's like low key, like holding this like laptop, like not closed, but like screen angled down, like one hand under, the other hand holding the top of the screen. And you just
Yeah.
see the gears turning as she watches Vengetti, who is now not behind the others. And she starts walking that direction.
No. No. Absolutely not. Kaya would have gone with Vengetti. Because I want her to do the nerd thing at least once. Okay? Even if it's on an NPC and it's useless. You're not fucking showing him that before we talk about this.
After a few minutes, Vengetti walks back over to the table and just dumps a pile of stuff. Different various medical equipment, or rather components to medical equipment. And he reaches down below the desk, or not below the desk, below the table, and starts looking around on the floor and just goes, "Dog! Shut up! I need the welder. Oh, no, not the welder, the soldering iron. No!
Can Kaya have one on her?
Yes.
Kai just walks out to him, reaches into her pocket. Like, here, I got the Milwaukee line one. Is that good?
Oh, that's fine. So annoying. Are you gonna give it to him?
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Like when he takes it from you, he twirls it, almost drops it, and catches it, and just goes, ha, and then walks over to the glove.
Motherfucker, don't fucking break it.
I'm not gonna
Follows
break
him.
it. Oh, I've never broken anything in my life. And he takes the glove and starts applying some of these random, like, scraps and chunks of metal to it, and after you could see how the way he's laid it out, you Lockhart can see that it will make a glove, at least mostly. It will probably do exactly what he said, which is work a few times before it just falls apart again.
She just wants a fail-safe for, because she doesn't think just breaking the computer is gonna be enough, kind of thing. This thing fucking came out of a TV.
So, right around this time, the door opens and Lindis and one stranger and Too Cute walk in the door. You hear the pop from bubblegum, and Lindis just goes, hey.
What's up?
Legacy, who
waves.
has been like probably trying every couple of minutes to like step around Lockhart for Lockhart to step in front of her. Pauses, looks over her shoulder, takes in the three. Lindis!
Oh, hi.
What? You did exactly what I said was a bad idea, and now they're
Well, my
here.
friends
That's
were
a
worried about
worse
you.
idea.
My friends were worried about you. Like,
That means you told them, and I told you. Wait. Oh, God.
I just told them my friend got in an accident. And she pauses for a moment. Oh, and the tentacle thing.
And did you
Uh,
send
did-
it
when
over
you say-
something that can be traced?
When you say the tentacle thing, Too Cute punctuates it with a bubble pop.
Did you send it over something that could be traced, didn't you?
No!
And
No!
too cute.
Too Cute just pops another bubble and then nods.
Lindis!
Too cute.
Too Cute, like, stops partway through blowing a bubble, and then looks at you, and then looks away, and then continues blowing a bubble.
Give me all of your shit, Lindis. I need to
Oh, it's my
wipe
shit.
I need to wipe it all. For all we know, somebody's tracing it right now.
Fine. Here.
Legacy, actually, let's go of the laptop to go retrieve this shit and try to fix this.
Cosmic scratches the back of his head and says, are we gonna get arrested?
No, we'll be fine. And you see, it was the guy, it's related to that guy that, I took drugs with the other day.
That's
Wait, who are you
even
saying
worse.
that to?
It's a legacy.
That's even worse. That's the worst thing possible. That's bad.
Not only is your friend an idiot, but she also does drugs.
No, just the one time with that one guy.
Lockhart, roll me a melee attack roll, as if you were
What?
hitting someone in melee.
Okay.
You're not attacking someone,
Yeah.
but there's a reason for this.
Mm-hmm. So that would just be tough, right?
Mm-hmm. Tough plus whatever martial arts.
The hand to hand.
Hand to hand, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's too cute doing now, huh?
So she's still standing there, just totally stock still, with the baseball bat held in her right hand, one hand in her pocket, and the baseball bat like saddled over her shoulder blades. And you look at her. You're a practiced fighter. This is your job, is to fight people.
Mhm.
And you look at Too Cute, and she is way more athletically built than your average person.
Mhm.
And she is holding herself with an uncanny grace. And you just get this really strange vibe, like she might be more for real than anyone else here.
So basically, I'm threat assessing her, and she stacks up basically.
Yeah, this is the type of person who you look her up and down and you're like, oh shit, okay, she can kick ass.
Good. But that's also bad.
Yeah, and then you look, you just casually glance at Cosmic, who you look at and you're like, oh, it's Ron Stoppable, but not charismatic.
Oh my god!
No, you can't say that. No.
Oh my god!
Oh.
How could
He's
he
a
ever recover
lovable
from
dork,
that?
but he is like, he is the most, like, normal guy out of all the NPCs.
Wait, what'd you say? I want to write that down. What'd you say? He's like
Ron Stoppable without the charisma.
Ron Stoppable without.
So are you saying he knows freaking video game combat?
Oh, he knows
Oh,
one
he is-
too.
Video game combat would be the
He is
equivalent.
he is a video game wizard. The man knows multiple video games inside and out, but that is the peak of his expertise. There's a handful of other things he's like passably good at. You can just look at him and be like, okay, cool. Fighting is not something he is good at. You just read that shit up and down, no problem.
Oh my boy! Why are you insulting my baby? No.
After a few seconds, Dr. Veloska walks in, sees two new people. This apartment is not big, by the way. You are all probably within 10 feet of each other at this point. And Dr. Veloska just and then he turns around and walks back into the back room.
Oh my poor boy.
So bad for the doctor.
I know, right?
I feel so bad for my boy. He just got called out like that. My boy's never going to recover.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to recover from that. I had to change schools, change my name, get a new life, learn a new language.
Learn kung fu.
Yeah.
While this introduction is happening, Legacy, you get a text from Marcus. And you notice that it is the second text from Marcus from the first one that you got while you were presumably unconscious. And his second text is like, I think they closed off the ward. ...
Oh shit. She literally just responds that, oh shit. And she's like, she is 100%, she is wiping all records of Lindis's conversation last night from everything that she has, and is trying to double check and make sure that it is not being traced, or there's not any signs of it at the very least. And her Legacy's paranoia is ruling her at the moment.
So you're going through your own phone and making sure that there's no traceable evidence in any way. Go ahead and roll.
Well, she's going through
I'll let you roll.
Lindis's.
Oh, Lindis? You'd have to get it from her.
She said she gave it to me.
Oh, she did? Okay. You take it from Lindis. You would also need it from the receiving phones from both Cosmic and Too Cute.
She gets like halfway through with like Lindis's, and then she looks at them. This like little gremlin look. She's hopped back up on the table.
You look over at Too Cute, and you have Lindis's phone. You can see Too Cute's eyes dart from yours to the phone to Lindis, and then she turns to Cosmic, and then reaches in his pocket and grabs his phone out, because he has both hands on the slushie. And then he just stops slurping for a second, then looks at her and just goes, "Oh." Then she takes her phone out of her pocket, the back pocket of her sport shorts, and then just strides over to you and hands you both of the phones.
And she takes them, and she looks at Too Cute for a second, and then looks at Lindis. At least she has sense right now. And then goes back to what she's doing.
You see this because like Too Cute is really close to you, but when you take a little cute jab at Lindis, you see just the faintest, barest, Batmanist smile creep across Too Cute's face and then disappear.
Y'all are mean to me.
I
This
told
is-
you
it's
this
not a-
was a bad idea. I told you, and you didn't listen to me, so I get to be mean to you, because for all we know, the fucking government is tracking you and is on its way right now to arrest all of us.
But they're not going to because it would ruin their cover.
Not if they
If
make
you-
us disappear.
They're not going to make us disappear.
You don't know that?
I'm not disappeared yet, am I?
Yet is the key part of that phrase. They're gonna send a whole bunch of people like her, and she points at Lockhart.
Yeah, Berserker Lady's mean too. You don't gotta be either. She kind of pouts.
Ben Getty sits up he's been hunched over working on the glove the whole time, and he just goes,
Oh yeah.
"Who's coming?"
No one is coming.
Oh. He goes back down to working on the glove.
Oh yeah. By the way, I know it doesn't matter because he's an NPC. But like Kaya is definitely giving the world's shittiest and most backward education TED talk while he's soldering. Yeah.
You're
It's like-
mansplaining soldering to him.
No, not like that. It's more so. It's honestly it's more anecdotal
Oh, okay.
because I imagine that like most of her knowledge is less textbook and more on the job.
Mhm.
And more like, it's like, yeah, they say you're not supposed to actually use different brands, but it doesn't really give a shit. As long as you scratch the connectors, it works the same.
Ben Getty, like, he tilts us, he looks up for a second, and he looks back down at his soldering job, and you can get a clear look at what he's been doing. He's been basically making a makeshift connector and contacts, as well as weaving it around a mesh so that it will resemble a glove. And as you look at it, his solder job is dog shit. It is
Oh my
bad.
fucking god.
But it,
Give it.
he,
Oh my god.
he looks like he sees the look on your face and just goes, "What? It works. Don't have to look pretty. It has to work."
Does he still have the fucking shirt on his head right now?
No, he pulled the shirt down.
Okay, good.
Years gone.
Good. I just didn't know if he was still too high to really think about that.
He's starting to get a little bit more sober. He's definitely more cognizant now because he's still overtly fighty, but less, definitely less like confused.
Okay. Well, can Kaya help him redo it so that it doesn't fuck up when Lockhart's using it?
You will have to try to convince him to let you help.
It's just an electric shock. It's fine.
You can roll. I will let you roll either you can roll an engineering check to prove that you could help him solder,
Yeah.
or you can try to convince him in some other way.
He's very fighty right now.
Yes.
So it's just like,
To
She's
be
like,
fair,
"Fuck."
he's been very fighty, but almost exclusively with Legacy.
You know
And
what?
you're getting the
Sure.
impression that it's probably because he's the same size as her.
Okay, in that case, I'll shoot the shot. We just have chihuahuas here.
We really do.
We have fucking chihuahuas here. Okay, so Kaya is just gonna just do it like, alright, look. Can I help you?
He just blinks and then like gives you that look of like, what? And then, excuse me, help me with what?
Look.
Oh, I made the glove.
You did when
The
you were,
invention's
you know.
done.
What?
It's over. It's already built. What are you gonna help me with?
I can redo the soldering.
He like looks down at the soldering. He looks back at you and just goes, "How dare you?"
Look, Bengetti, you're still fucked up from the fucking crash.
Well, yeah. Whose fault is that? Who crashed the fucking motorcycle?
Who
I
turned my
didn't crash.
motorcycle into a fucking bomb?
That's not true. I turned it into a super cycle, which then turned into a bomb.
Just Bengetti, just give me back my soldering iron. I'll just I'll just clean it up a bit. Look, I won't redo it. I'll just clean it
No.
up, make sure it's not too connected. Look, I've got the wick right here. I'll just clean it up. Just give it to me.
Roll a quick check.
Fuck. It's not quick. Fucking dump stat. Oh god.
You can
Hey,
also
Legacy had to
add.
start off with a fucking tough check. You can roll a quick
That's
check.
true. I can roll a quick check.
Today's
Yeah.
the day of dump stats.
5.
You can add your engineering bonus to that because you are fighting for a soldering iron. So what would that be?
So I got engineering. I've got electrical engineering. Only one, right? So just +1.
Oh, it'd be a +1.
Yeah, because I've got 2 separate things for engineering. I've got regular engineering, then I've got electrical engineering.
Okay, so you're
Um,
like trying
could I?
to do what?
So I have a question. It's probably
Yes.
a no, but I have clever mechanic. You have advantage on repairing hardware of any kind. Would this count as repairing hardware?
I would say so. I would say because the
Okay.
effect of what you're doing is ultimately going to be repairing hardware, and I also think it's funny.
Okay. So roll a d6.
Yeah, you roll a d6 and drop the 2. 7, 8, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like holding it away from you at his full the full extension of his arms, and you just like grab him one hand on the shoulder so he can't move around, and just reach over and yoink it right out of his hands because he is not very big. He's like, "Hey, that is mine. It's actually hers, but it's mine."
No, mine. Just sit down. Go get some water. I'll clean this shit up.
I hate water.
I don't give a shit. Go drink it.
He sticks his tongue out at you.
Fucking go.
Oh, you two make a good couple.
Linda, shut the fuck up.
Why are you being mean to me too?
It's stressful.
Linda's just kind of squats down, covering her legs. Everybody's being mean to me. She begins grumbling.
Just God fucking damn it. Kaya is just gonna mutter to herself now.
Wait,
Crouching down to solder this shit, just muttering about random shit. It's like, fucking, of course, fucking everything's today. Fucking soldering. How the fuck does he solder this fucking badly? God damn it.
Too cute. Pats Lindis on the head, just goes, "It's okay. I still like you."
Until he gets back up 10 times better.
Oh.
Completely fine.
Now, here's the question. Was Lindis overreacting, or is she that much of a too cute simp?
He is very much a too cute simp.
Okay, that's what it is.
So, Ben Getty, now that he has his toy taken away from him, and his focus can just be on literally anything, his eyes drift around the room kind of aimlessly, just trying to figure out what to do with himself. And then he sees Too Cute and Cosmic, and he blinks for a second, and then just shakes his head and just goes, "Holy shit! You're Cosmic? Like, the Cosmic?" Cosmic just blinks for a second, and doesn't say anything, and you just hear him slurp. Ben Getty gets this, like, his eyes go wide a little bit, and you can see stars in them. And he rushes over and he just goes, "Shit, when I watched you at EVO 77's Master Finals," and he just starts talking about fighting games and RTS games and all of his professional game history, to which Cosmic is just looking at him, like, nonplussed, but not in, like, a dismissive way.
You know we were on the same team, right?
He looks back at Lindis. You were?
Lindis just curls up on the floor again. The despair quickly returning to her eyes. Like, oh yeah, sure, you remember
cute.
him, but you can't remember me.
Too Cute, like, her eyebrow twitches in, like, this flash of anger. And she looks at Ben Getty and just goes, "Don't pay attention to girl gamers, because they're better than you." Pops a bubble really loudly at him. To which Ben Getty, like, flinches a little bit, just goes, "Now that's not true, sexist." What? That is the laziest, like, it's like, now he's, like, short-circuiting, and then starts to shake his head and back away. He's like, how could I possibly be sexist? That doesn't make any sense.
You also didn't let Kaya handle the soldering iron.
Well, yeah, because I'm better at it. Too Cute raises her eyebrow at him, and then taps the bat over her shoulders. To which
Get him!
like, takes a step back. He narrows his eyes and starts to, like, slide away. And he is going to slide over towards Legacy and Lockhart.
Legacy is 100% still just muttering to herself and working on the phones.
He bumps Lockhart's elbow and just goes, "Hi, they're pretty cool. Oh, at least I assume those two are cool." And he points to Legacy and Too Cute, or Lindis and Too Cute. And then he points to Cosmic and just goes, "That guy? Ripper legend. Absolutely mental. This dude can play any fucking video game ever and kick your ass at it."
I'm on the same team as him.
Too Cute, her eye twitches again, and she's like, you can see her eyes dart around in her immediate vicinity, like she's looking for something.
Can I threat assess?
Yeah.
So what would that be then? What do
That
I
would
roll
be
for
that would be as if you're rolling a melee attack.
Okay, just as if I'm rolling an attack. Okay.
Mhm.
She's looking for a pillow, like Legacy wielded earlier.
So just making sure how specialties work is you don't, like, because if I was rolling a melee attack, that would be, hand to hand. Then would that be better?
Yes, you apply your stat and then your specialty
Okay.
to whatever you roll.
Okay, got it. That's a bad roll.
So she's clearly looking for something around, like, something loose. Just something that could be loose and on the ground. You're not sure if she's looking for something specific or for what purpose, but you can definitely catch her seeking something.
Yeah. Lockhart, while Ben-Geddy's been yabbering, I guess. I don't know, just keep talking.
Yes.
Her face has been very hard, and her mouth is like in a thin line kind of thing. Pretty much ever since they kind of entered the room. Like, especially after knowing that Too Cute can kind of hold her own, or at the very least hold her own. She is getting very bad vibes, and she's just stiff. Just watching everything.
So
Like-
for anyone who is watching, which would be basically Lockhart and Cosmic, because Kaya's soldering, Legacy is hacking, and Ben-Geddy is like
Fanboying.
Yeah. So Lockhart, you watch
What?
Too Cute. She opens her mouth and plucks out the gum she's been chewing, and then closes one eye and flicks it at Ben-Geddy.
Yeah, I'd like to gun safety bear that.
Ooh, okay. What does Gun Safety
Why?
Bear actually do?
So, okay, actually, because the range, it targets you with the ranged weapon, but I can use tank.
Why? It's a piece of gum.
It is a threat.
No, it's not.
It is a threat.
This bitch is overprotective. That's why.
Yes, she is. Okay.
The only thing she has allowed has been a pillow to the face.
Fucking
Yeah.
chihuahua.
So. Let's see. Let's quick this real quick. Whatever you use.
What is your so what is your quick defense?
The quick defense
Yeah.
is 9.
Okay. I will say if you want to let your quick defense substitute for Ben-Geddy, because Gun Safety Bear is you have to be
Yeah.
within melee range, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just reading. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, I
So-
just wanted to catch it. That's all.
Yeah. I will let you try to catch it.
Okay. Or
Uh,
at least swat out of the way, something akin to that, basically.
roll a quick check.
Wait, so it is quick defense though, then.
Or yes, it's quick defense. Your quick
Okay,
defense
so yeah,
is-
I can use tank for this then. When an ally's tough defense or quick defense is targeted, you may use an attack to either physically impose yourself between your ally and the attacker, or move them out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to take the hit instead of Ben-Geddy?
I can just move them out of the way.
That's true. Okay. So Ben-Geddy
And-
is jabbering to you, and she flicks that gum, and you can see it, like, you're so used to this sort of high intensity exchange that happens really, really quick. Because the gum is so small, you start to reach out as if you're going to grab Ben-Geddy and push him out of the way, and you realize that you won't be able to push him out of the way in time, but you can at least get it so it won't land in his hair.
Yeah.
I insist you do to like get down, Mr. President, and like shove him out of the way.
I will also I will
am
let you for
pissed.
free. I will let you for free. Full on shunt him across the room, and he will not get good.
No.
If you want to do
Please
that.
do it, please.
I'd rather take the hit at that point. Like, seriously, I'd much rather just take the hit. She's not that overprotective.
Do
It's
it.
fucking
Do it.
dumb.
No, I insist. If you're gonna
So-
be dumb and implode a quick defense for gum, I
No,
insist.
no. You don't understand. This has nothing to do with the gum. This is to say, hey, you can't do this shit around here. Not around me.
I
So-
insist.
This is
If that's what you're gonna do.
this is the reverse threat assessment. Is basically what she's trying to do.
No,
Lockhart's trying to have a measuring contest with Too Cute. That's what's about
Yes.
to happen.
Yes, basically.
So are you going to take the hit or let it stick on like his shirt?
I'll take the hit.
Okay. So you step
Okay.
in, like you do like a quick jolt in front
Ba-
of Ben Getty.
Basically, how I kind of imagine it is like he's standing in between us, and I just basically pick him up and like turn my back, like so we danced, or basically, like I picked him up by the shoulders.
Yeah, you just pick him up and spin around for a second. It's a very quick movement, and then the gum just like plink. You feel a little plink on like your like the backside of your ribs.
It's been back in place.
And you put him back, and he just goes, "What?"
And that's when
What?
Legacy like looks up from what she was doing. It's just like you get both the confused chihuahuas. The fuck?
She's tense about all this shit right now. Okay, it's lucky she didn't fucking tackle him.
Well, you should have.
Ben
Send
Getty
the real
like,
message.
like he narrows his eyes at Lockhart. He just goes, "Lockley, were you ignoring me? Did you hear anything I said?"
I did.
I think you should tell her again just to make sure.
He just frowns. And goes, "I'm offended that you could do that. You think that you can lie to me about paying attention to one of my hobbies, my passions?"
Hang on. Oh, go ahead. Continue your speech.
he
No, I said roll. Damn it.
he is just talking like now diverting onto why you shouldn't ignore him,
Uh huh.
which I assume you're ignoring.
Pretty much.
Legacy just like still staring at her like she grew a second head. Just slowly steps off of the table and hands everybody back their phones.
Alright, well,
Um,
let's go to a hotel. You hear these bullies. Oh yeah, the ward's closed, by the way, so we're not getting home tonight.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Marcus just texted me about that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, there's a bunch of military people all over the ward.
Fucking fantastic.
Too Cute reaches into her pocket and pulls out a new stick of gum and sticks it in her mouth and just goes, "PMCs. Likely hired by Tetsuo."
Damn it.
Lockhart moves out of the way and walks outside. I'll be back.
If you want to throw the gum at him, now's the time.
You also see for a second the flash of that like evil smile as she like locks on to Vengetti, who's clearly not paying attention to her, and then she turns back to you and just goes, "I just started chewing this piece."
Nods.
Hmm.
So-
Lockhart, you're walking outside, or
Yeah, basically, just want to see what the fuck's going on. Cause
Oh.
like she doesn't technically know what the fuck's going on. You know?
okay? Legacy. I will say because you have. Actually, for the three phones for Lindis, Cosmic, and Too Cute, roll me 3 ghost checks. Or you can use your ghost ability that's like, you get however many passes. Whatever it is. What is it?
I need prep for it.
I will say, for the sake of just letting you use prep stuff, everyone can have prep equal to their level at the start of every session.
We're level 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have 3 prep. Okay.
And you cannot save it up. It refreshes at the start of each new session.
I was going to ask about that. What about prep that you don't spend throughout the sessions? Is that how that works too?
What do you mean?
Well, because I have an ability that gives me prep whenever I spend money, but I haven't spent any of that prep.
Oh, you lose prep at the end of at the end of every session. You only get prep for the session.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Kaya,
actually-
you have the thing that gives a group prep,
Yup.
so you get
Yes,
an
sir.
extra, and you can just give that to someone as need be.
So like, it's like, I'm sorry, my mind is small. Why did I phrase it like that? You know, ignore that. And it's like, shut up.
You get 4.
So I get 4. I can use 3, and I can have an extra one, like a spare granola bar that I can hand out to whoever needs it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 3 prep plus 1.
Okay.
So my virtual ghost gives me a 1 off the bat, and then if I need to, is this when I start? When you begin a hack, yeah. So I'll go ahead and spend 1 prep for my ghost protocol,
Okay.
which gives me an additional 1 on top of that, and I get a boost when I'm hacking, when ghost protocol is active.
Okay, if you roll high enough, I will loop multiple devices in
Okay.
under 1 check.
So this would be clever. What's boost? Is that an additional die?
Yeah, you get an extra d6. Also, I forgot, you're not rolling to clear the devices, you're rolling to get a certain number of, like, quote-unquote ghost points, which you will spend to clear your tracks.
Okay, so I'm just rolling the ghost points right now, so I don't roll anything
Yes.
additional at the moment.
Yeah, but you get your +1 or plus whatever from your
Abilities.
talents. Yeah.
So that's the
12.
ghost roll.
Did it give you a boost?
Well, the boost is when I begin hacking. It's not to the ghost roll. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah. And boost your hacking action when you are within the network.
Okay. Then that would give you 2 ghost points. So you will hack 1 device, which would probably be Cosmic's. Because Cosmic was actually saying some dumb shit like, "Am I gonna get arrested?" So you will roll just to clear up his tracks. Oh yeah. You are frustrated with how stupid he was at just communicating so blatantly about something, but it also is easy to deal with because it's just text messages. So while you can't like erase them from the existence to the network, like to the satellite or whatever, like the actual signal, you can make it so that they can't trace it back to him. It will just
Okay.
end at the actual cell phone satellite.
Okay.
Nice.
Do I get to use my other 2 that I just have for free to do somebody else's phone then?
Then you use the other 2 to get legacy, or to get fucking Christ, to get Lindis's and 2 Cute's phones for free.
Okay.
Yes. These fucking L names. God, I'm gonna ban Saint letter names in the next game that I run.
All right, guys. We all
Pick a letter of the alphabet. You get that one.
you see the counter to that is to have names that start with different letters, but
But
have the same sound.
Or the same vowels.
Mhm, the same vowel or same sound.
Kate, Nate.
Ronnie, Connie.
Okay. Lockhart. You walk up onto the street.
Hey, I did a
What?
chaos roll.
Oh god, you
I
did.
did
What is
chaos
chaos roll for?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What are you doing to her phone?
No, she gives back the phone. Then she realized nobody is monitoring, so she just kind of comes over and pokes Spaghetti and then starts walking towards the laptop.
Oh, Kurt, no, you left.
Just,
You didn't
just,
tag Kaya
just
in
keep
on
in
this.
mind. Just keep in mind, if something happens to her pet chihuahua, you will be the one to answer to that. Just keep that in mind.
Ben Getty, you go over and like poke him, and he just immediately gets defensive for a second, like you're going to attack him, and then you point to the laptop, and he just goes, "Huh?" And then he puts like he shushes himself, and then we'll tiptoe over to the laptop with you.
Oh no. Can I have a mom sense of that it's quiet all of a sudden? That means shit's going down?
I'm really
Only
ticked because I was
2d6
gonna rely on
plus
Kaya to protect. To
You
keep
didn't
that.
You didn't
I
tell her
know.
you were leaving!
It was spur of the moment.
The cardinal sin of babysitting!
Okay, so wait.
How do I roll?
Carl Sin
Roll
of babysitting. Do I deal with the fire or the kids fighting?
So you can roll 2d6 plus 1. I'm giving you plus 1 because you are team mom.
I'll take it. God damn it. Like, I myself have learned this skill myself. Fuck!
Oh no!
Oh no!
God, his soldering must be shit.
It's shit. She's gotten out all the stops. She's like gotten the sponge out. She's got the wick. She's got the little sucker tube to fix it.
You're so concentrated on fixing this absolute hack job. It's going well, thankfully. Unfortunately, you do not mom sense Ben Getty creeping over to the laptop.
Fuck.
Lindis, you can see this though, if you care.
I don't care. No. I don't know why I wouldn't be allowed. Why these two wouldn't be allowed? They're two computer gremlins. Let them computer gremlin.
Okay. So you walk over and open the laptop for Ben Getty, or do you just let him have at it?
She's gonna walk with him, and then she's gonna like grab his arm and like motion for him to cover his eye so that he actually covers his eye.
He thumbs up, pulls his shirt over his face, and then covers that eye with one of his hands. And then he'll turn to the laptop and carefully flip the screen up, and then flip around and then look at Kaya, see that she hasn't noticed, and then slowly turn back to the laptop. And I'll roll for him. Okay. So he opens up the laptop, and there's this. You see it now, Legacy. What you must have looked like to everyone else. As he opens the laptop, you can actually see the moment where his body seizes up, and he doesn't move, and his eye starts to tremble, and it looks like it's searching the screen frantically. And there's this. He's like starts to break out into a cold sweat.
She will slowly, not looking at the laptop, close the laptop screen, grab his arm, and try to get him to sit down.
So the second you close the laptop screen, you hear him just go, holy fuck. Holy shit. He pulls his shirt down off of his face, and he just like grabs you and just goes, what the fuck? What the fuck did you find? Holy fucking shit.
I don't know.
Kaya, you can hear this.
Oh. She looks up. First thing that Kaya looks for is Lockhart. She doesn't see Lockhart. She's like, oh, fuck. She gets up, she looks at the two of them. Two fucking chihuahuas in the corner. What the fuck are y'all doing?
He looked at the
Ben
code.
Getty You say that, Vengetti looks at you and just goes, traitor.
I looked at the code too.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but you passed out because you can't hold your shit.
She
didn't
pinches
pass
him
out?
really, really hard.
Ow!
Oh my god. Can you guys fucking stop it? She's gonna pick whoever. Okay. Who is. Who is closer to Kaya? Because she'll pick them up and fucking move them away like two fighting toddlers.
It's obviously Vengetti.
Okay. She picks up Ben Getty and just fucking like tears him away from. It's like, what the fuck?
He freaked out
Uh,
too, though. It's weird. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. It's weird.
We're supposed to fucking legs. We were supposed to talk about it before we started looking at the creepy fucking passed out code.
The pass out code.
Shut up.
The dream
No, that's good.
sequence.
Lockhart, you run up the steps, and before you even just roll a threat assessment, your eyes are scanning the sidewalks. Your
Yeah,
eyes
like-
scan the sidewalks.
I'm definitely not at level. Like, I stay... Because you said it's underground, essentially, like, you know, below level. She pokes her head above, like, out. Not fully going up, you know what I mean? So she's kind of
So you-
hidden by the steps, that's what I'm saying. But yeah.
Yeah, like you put one hand on the lip of the concrete to sort of peek over, and you can see, without revealing yourself or giving your body too much of a profile to spot, you can actually see a lot of PMCs, and you're getting the distinct impression, like, okay, you recognize this armor. This is not an armor from like or this is an armor that's relegated to a special forces private military contractor that they use Ogremok gear, but they are contracted out by Tetsuo. You've seen them before due to your past. Never you've seen them out in broad daylight in the city streets, just open carrying massive weapons, which you see the tube fed into this shotgun-like device. And that weapon, you also recognize that weapon. That is a weapon that is used in like a riot control suppressant tool. It doesn't fire bullets, but sometimes you kind of wish it did. It is effectively a low power laser / incredibly high power hairdryer. It will like oscillate. The actual device oscillates in the backpack, and it will excite air molecules to the point that they start to heat up very, very quickly.
You're getting nuked, basically, like microwaved.
Yeah, it's like a tiny microwave beam, and it is non-lethal, and it's not technically producing any radiation or giving has enough potential to kill you with radiation. But if that thing drags across your face, it will burn like hell. It is a nasty weapon. And it's particularly useful because it works on androids as well.
Okay.
Android armor with the excited air molecules, or not armor, but like the android casing and metal casing, there isn't enough heat conductive, or there isn't enough heat resistant material that would cause the excited molecules to not sear the inside cabling of the wires, so it can kill androids. It's also particularly damaging to cybernetics. But yeah, you can see a couple of these guys walking up and down the streets in groups of 3 and 5.
Okay.
Now roll me threat assessment.
So I have a quick question,
Yes.
and this might be tied to the threat assessment. I don't know.
No.
But So, from what I know,
Mhm.
if these guys are sent out for something,
Mhm.
they would. We're not super near where the actual impact, the incident happened, essentially, right? Like, we're in
Correct.
the same ward, but we're not super near.
Correct.
So, is it normal for them to fan out from the area like that?
So.
Does that make sense? It's kind of like
Yeah.
seeing the police car like a mile away from a car accident or a fire or some shit like that. You know
I
what
would I would say you can roll, so you can roll threat assessment to try and determine, like, from a tactical point of view, why they are out this far from where the like the effective
Yeah.
epicenter is.
Okay.
And you'll probably get some extra information too, just from the nature of like understanding that.
Okay.
But
13.
okay, so
Wait.
your
No, it's 11 because for some reason it didn't mark it as 1. It said +3.
Gotcha. So on 11. So you're not 100% certain because the actual nature of this like disaster, you're not sure it like the epicenter would have a broad reach. And then you think about it for a second, you're like, no, they're not out here because of the explosion or because they're out here because they are following the pipes.
Okay.
The thing went into the sewer, so they closed down the ward because they don't want it to get out, but they don't know where it is. So they're just going to take full control of this entire ward until they figure out where it is.
Okay. And was this the same threat assessment you wanted me to roll then, essentially?
No. Roll me one more, and I will give you potentially some other stuff.
Hey! 15.
Okay. So, as you are slowly coming to this conclusion, like, no, they don't actually know where that thing went. They're probably fanning out so that they can try to lock it in place and put up a perimeter. So they're panic shutting down everything.
Mhm.
And as you come to that realization, you hear this warbling overhead, this like... And you look up, and you can see 5 different HVACs. Military-equipped HVACs with
Lord.
very, very obvious mounted weapons on them. And they low fly over the city in a widespread fanned-out position. And an HVAC, just for those of us who are watching at home, is just a flying car. But these in particular are built more like... They're more like a flying
Tank?
Humvee. They're not quite a tank
Okay,
because they're not
Humvee.
that...
Okay.
Yeah, they're not that big and armored, but they have armor plating. They're like a very well-stocked Humvee with
It's like a
mounted
mounted
guns.
weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a mounted gun on the top and 2 on the front-facing side. But yeah, you see that whole thing transpire.
Are there any of are they actively shooing people like back into their homes? Like, are there other people walking around? Are they interacting with people that are around?
You don't see anyone else on the street. You only see these PMCs.
And this is
So,
this is not a main street, but this is not a dead area, right?
correct. This is not a devoid of activity type of area. You would very easily see at least a handful of people on the street at any random time during daylight hours. And instead you see 1 to 3 squads of PMCs and those HVAC. You follow that formation as it flies away, and you can see, if you poke your head up a little bit more, down the street, you can see the distant figure of HVAC in the distance, closer to where you imagine the epicenter would be.
Okay. So they're patrolling, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Are any... I know this will sound like really stupid, but like, are there... If I look up at the buildings, because I assume there's apartment complexes or anything, like, are kind of like windows closed and blinds shut kind of thing? Like, is it that bad? Or like, are they kind of giving dirty looks to people looking out kind of thing? You know what I mean? 'Cause this is kind of a scene, you know.
Yeah, without rolling for it, you can see that a lot of the windows are covered or not boarded but shut.
Okay.
So if there's anyone peeking out, you don't see them, but it's very obvious that it's at a glance, it seems to you that nobody's looking out their window.
Okay. Is there a corner store nearby? Like just like a 7-Eleven kind of thing? Like
yeah, there's one nearby.
How close?
Like block and a half, 2 blocks away. You could sprint to it. If you were so inclined. You could sprint to it and get there in maybe 90 seconds.
But if they're essentially boarded up, not boarded up, but like closed.
Closed, yeah.
Emergency. She's out in the middle of nowhere. Is there anyone that seems like higher rank, I guess, in the patrols?
From what you saw, no. It was just the squads of. I mean, you can tell who's the leader of that squad by their by the helmet band color. They have a horizontal stripe that goes over the top part of their helmet, and you can tell who is in charge of that squad. But just from your establishment of rank, they're not going to be more than a squad leader.
Is there any way I can get close to potentially overhear anything or
you
pick up
can
radio stuff? I don't know.
You can get close to them, but you would need to get up on street level and physically move yourself near one of the squads.
Are there cars I could potentially hide behind?
You can't tell from where you are. You don't see any on the open street near you. I will let you mull it over.
Yeah.
I will
go
give
ahead.
us a quick 5 to 10 minute break so that we can get water and snacks and all that other good shit. And then we'll come back to Lockhart's day off.
Day off. Funny.
Okay. I'm gonna put this in the done section then.
Okay, legit guys though. Advice. Help.
Don't ask me. You saw what I did with the fucking racing session.
I'm just wondering how much more information I can get if it's worth the risk, you know what I mean? And it's not like they're just gonna straight up attack, even if they do.
I mean, they can do really unless they are trying to set off alarm bells all over the place, is if you pop up and start walking, they tell you to go back inside.
Yeah.
But if they see you sprinting,
Yeah.
I mean, I would just take a step up as if you're heading towards the store, and if they fucking stop you,
Yeah,
then
that's
just
what I was thinking too. Yeah.
don't fight them. Don't okay, yes sir, and you head back inside.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Hmm.
I don't know if this is like, 1, 2, or 3 levels of dangerous, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
for them, I guess.
Oh, okay. So I will say, just as a general rule, these are PMCs. They're not police. So their rules of engagement are a lot more loose.
Loose, yeah.
They're not gonna like kill you, but they
They will
have a
knock you out, kinda
non-lethal
thing.
weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
I will also tell you for free that just you would know from your threat assessment and your understanding of the situation. Assuming a danger level 1 would be like let's say level 1 is like a mugger, where you can understand, that they have potentially a weapon and they intend to do harm. And then like level 2 would be like an organized group who are trying to do harm, and then 3 would be it's kind of hard to think of a scale like this. This is like if you were to walk outside of your home and see SWAT marching up and down the street.
Yeah, okay. And usually if you fucking see SWAT, you don't go outside.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not normal, and it's not gonna make anybody feel safe.
Yeah. But I also want to get more in.
I mean, SWAT when because I've had friends that have been in situations where SWAT has come into the neighborhood. They just yell at you to go inside if you start to head out.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a warning at least, so as long as you listen to the warning.
The biggest fear I have right now is that there were cameras or anything that picked up that we were there. And I don't want to give away our hiding spot, quote unquote, right now. That's my like biggest fear right now. So I think character-wise, Lockhart would probably play it safe and not push. Not fucking kick the hornet's nest.
Do it.
Yeah.
Sprint to the bodega.
Do it.
No, Iris is realizing that we already have 2 gremlin characters, an actual PC and an NPC. We don't need another one, and then whatever the fuck Lindis decides to do to impress Too Cute. That's always a gremlin choice right there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the thing is, what are we going to do if we're stuck in here? What can we do? We have the program, but if we're stuck in the apartment, like, I feel like we're sitting ducks. That's the thing.
Give Legacy some time to hack something. She can probably distract him and move him around.
Honestly,
Too
Shock.
Cute and Cosmic were going to go to a hotel anyway, so we were just about to leave.
Oh, I can use them as bait. Good idea.
I'm honestly shocked you haven't tried to weaponize the fucking virus yet.
We're still dealing with the fact that we can't fucking look at it.
Oh, by the way, guys, I made a thing.
Please tell me it's Chihuahuas. Please tell me it's Chihuahuas. Please tell me it's Chihuahuas. Yes.
You know me so well. Fuck.
Also, Amy, your Boston's been leaking all day. It's been leaking out.
My what?
Your Boston.
Oh, that's me combining every East Coast accent I can to exaggerate Kaya's.
Yeah, it's intentional.
It's intentional.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
My sister
Unfortunately, the only way I know how to do that is by swearing more. So. We'll say that Kaya's a bit stressed out from everything that's happened in the past, day? Maybe
Don't apologize
Less than a
for
day?
swearing. Okay, I had to literally start because I taught freshmen when I was teaching in college. I had to start every single semester in our syllabus day of okay, So, here's how this is going to be different than high school. And I'd go through stuff and I'd be like, also, I cuss all the time. So, we're going to have to get used to that. All the gasping that you might want to do because you listen to your teacher cuss, just get fucking over it, because guess what? It's going to get old real fast.
Nice.
This is fucking the real world, kids.
Because that's
Sack up.
how my brain works, is when I'm trying to, like, exaggerate something, it's not like, oh, instead of saying big, you say huge, it's like, it's fucking big. That's how it translates in my
Same
head.
thing here. Yeah. God damn it. This poor fucking doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Voloshka. Also, I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's like, So, depending on if we're trapped here, could Kaya, and I think Legacy has the same, what was it? Talent?
Scavenger?
Yeah, scavenger. Could they just, like, spend a day just, like, taking a corner and just setting up shit if they're stuck there for a while?
Yeah, you can. It would be
Yeah.
very cramped, but you can totally do it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
Landis, can we have money?
If each of us can get one cash, then we can have each of us set up a fully functional workshops for each of our own special abilities.
Yeah, if we're camped out there for a while. Just like, Landis, can we have money? This is out of character. Just like, we...
Is Piper here anymore?
Yes, she is.
I'm right here.
Work.
Hello.
Can I use prep instead?
Would you like
I
some
know.
chocolate, Piper?
Where'd you get chocolate?
The Easter Bunny
Found
game.
it.
Oh,
If we're all
I
back,
felt like such a horrible person, because I tried, I have to go on a daily caffeine run. My vet clinic that I work at, same shopping center as a CVS. So every morning I go over there and get coffee and soda for the day. I walked in yesterday morning and I looked around and I'm like, oh, Easter was yesterday, or was the day before. And so I walk into the aisle and I see all of these $5, $6 expensive chocolates are all $1.
Yep.
And so I just I went in there with the intention of coffee and soda, one of each, and I walk out with a giant bag of Easter candy because I got to buy a whole bunch of Lindt and Ferrero Rocher and all these other things and spent $8.
Did you still get the
5
coffee
bags.
Did you still get the coffee and soda?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
it's a win.
All right, Joe. We're off to the hotel.
Okay, so who is going with you?
I know it's
It's Cutie and
Gamer
Cosmic.
Squad,
yeah.
and I think that's it.
No one else gonna follow?
I'm still not out on the porch, essentially, right?
Kaya's a little busy wrangling dogs at the moment.
Huh.
I mean, she's still holding
Robot,
up things.
Amy. Robot.
Okay, am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine at one point, it's I don't know if you guys have had to separate fighting toddlers before.
God no.
Yeah, so I imagine, I'm just fucking going back to my little brothers. I imagine that she took the smaller one, which is Mengedi, as has been established. She's holding him up, off the ground, and she's at one point she had to use her foot to hold back Legacy from lunging at him at one point.
Legacy's not trying to fight him that much. He just made a stupid comment, so she pinched him.
Yeah. No,
She
she's
got
just
her revenge.
trying to separate them. She's just keeping them separated at the moment. I'd hope Lindis would at least say bye.
No,
No.
I think Lindis is feeling kind of down right now, so she's just leaving with the two of them.
And Lockhart is technically blocking the way.
Yeah, you would walk
Actually-
out and you see Lockhart like peering over the lip of the edge there.
And hearing the door open, I don't jump, but like I swivel like behind me real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fuck? What got behind me kind of thing. And seeing the three of them, or it's all three of them, right?
Mhm.
I take a moment, look the two newcomers up and down.
Cosmic like avoids your gaze, just kind of looks at the ground and the wall and the sky. Too Cute meets your eyes and then blinks and looks away as well. But it's a lot more casual, just like, okay, I don't want to start shit.
I snap my fingers quietly, put my finger to my lips, and I point back.
Point
Like
like
that.
back inside.
Yes,
We continue forward.
I will block the way.
Too Cute and
Also-
Cosmic they watch you step forward and then Lockhart steps in front of you.
Like, I have a very serious look on my face right now.
I will scream.
Are you saying that or are you screaming?
No, I'm saying that.
Oh, okay.
If you want that pretty little face of yours melted off, I wouldn't suggest doing that.
Yeah, because I'm just an idiot, right? Now get out of my way already.
I look at Too Cute.
Too Cute reaches over and puts a hand on Lindis's shoulder, and then, like, to try and stop you. But she's not looking at you, she is looking at Lockhart. And she like, she
Ow.
squints her eyes a little bit, just goes, "What's happening?"
I don't remember what you said they were called. Out of character.
PMCs.
PMCs.
Yeah.
Right here. Private military contractors.
PMC.
Yeah.
I'd say that. PMCs. I gotta do my fucking accent, damn it.
Okay, well, we didn't get stopped on our way here. We're not gonna get stopped elsewhere. Now move.
Were they patrolling earlier?
They were. There was up in the area where Lindis was walking, and as you were walking back, there were squads. Not as many as, well, neither of you would know this, but there were more now, and people were still walking around and just casually enjoying the streets at the point where Lindis was.
I would suggest you, pointing at Lindis, stay hidden. I would ask one of you to test the waters, but don't know if either of you would be willing to do that.
You want the waters test? Then get out of our way already.
How tall is Too Cute?
Too Cute? She's about the same height as Lindis, maybe like an inch taller, so she's like 5'6".
Okay, so she's kind of short.
Yeah, everyone in this group is shorter than you, by the way.
Fuck. Okay. Fucking hell, I really don't. I'm like weighing the options of like protect or be a good person. Okay, I'm going to. Does Too Cute have like a hair tie or something like that?
Her hair is tied up. She might have an extra one.
Do you have an elastic?
Too Cute pulls out her hand from her pocket and then stretches one out and hands it to you.
And she had a hat too, right? Something along those lines.
She has like a visor.
Mm. And Cosmic has some glasses, right?
Yeah, Cosmic just has reading glasses, or not reading glasses, but like regular glasses.
Okay. Can I borrow those? Pointing to the glasses and hat.
Cutie raises an eyebrow, and Cosmic mirrors the gesture, but it's a distinctly different tone from the two of them. Where Cosmic is like, why? And Cutie shrugs and just goes, I have more, and then takes the hat off and hands it to you.
I'm basically trying to make a disguise, like a makeshift disguise. What does Lindis have on her?
I am wearing a race queen outfit.
That doesn't help. Why do you have to all be so short? Okay, I'm gonna push them back in, and I'm gonna say, and I'm.
You're
just,
gonna push me
no,
back
I'm
in?
not gonna push. I'm just gonna like kind of like trying to say like usher, I guess is a better way to put it.
I want to go forward.
If you go forward and something bad happens, I'm not letting you back in here.
Well, good. I don't want to be back in there with everybody anyway. Now move.
I give the stuff back, and I let them pass, and I go back in the door and lock it.
Okay.
If you're gonna do that, fine.
So you're walking up the steps and going to the nearest hotel.
Yep.
Okay. It's easy enough to find a nearby hotel. There's one a couple of blocks away. And you walk up. Are you sneaking at all, or...?
No, I'm walking straight forward.
Okay. So you walk up, and you walk about half a block before you hear this staticky radio voice read over, just like, stop. And you
We
can hear the tromping of a couple of pairs of boots. 3 large PMC people, their gender is kind of ambiguous with all of the heavy gear on, walk up and approach you, and they're like, why are you outside?
Beforehand, I want to use my influencer ability. Once per session, if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, I can spend a prep and they are a fan of me.
Okay.
So the squad leader is a huge fan of me. At the cost of a prep.
Okay. So I will say the mood of the social setting is hostile.
And now
for
it's because interactions with them are friendly now.
There's a limit to how friendly it can be.
That is
But
better.
The guy tilts his head and then like leans in a little bit, and then just goes like, You can see the grip on his gun starts to slacken a little bit, and the other two stand behind him, and the person standing before you with the stripe on their helmet says, what are you doing in Seahin Ward?
We were actually on our way to a hotel. Do you have a recommendation for us?
The block is closed down. I don't have a recommendation. I'm really sorry.
That's fine.
We can. He looks back at the two behind him, who are getting increasingly more confused. He turns back forward and just goes, we're going to have to escort you there.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. I feel much safer already.
Too Cute raises an eyebrow, and Cosmic just kind of shrinks up. He's been holding onto an empty cup this whole time because he doesn't want to set it down.
I believe there was one over here. If you could kindly lead the way. Thank you.
He turns, points to the two men, and they surround you and start to march with you. And you can't hear it, but there is a palpable, like, confusion in what's going on. A couple other squads walk by on opposite sides of the street, and there's not even a head turn as they're laser focused on whatever their goal is. Also, while you're walking, you hear the low of a low flying HVAC. This one is so low it actually kicks up some wind as it goes overhead. And you can see on it a bunch of mounted weaponry and like blacked out windows on this sleek, like flying Batmobile of a car.
What's going on, if I may ask? Everybody seems a little tense here.
The ward is closed down. We
Okay.
are securing it.
Oh, okay. Did something happen here, or?
You don't watch the news much, do you?
Oh, well, I was at an internet cafe until a while ago. Something about an explosion or something like that?
There was something believed to be a terrorist attack, but it turns out it was an illegal weapons or an illegal tech operation. We're here to
Oh.
secure the area.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel much safer now. She gives him a wink.
He doesn't say anything because he's not. He just is trying to be very businesslike and professional. But he continues marching. As you're going, the entire walk, you don't see another person. It is all PMCs. And as you get further up the block to the hotel, you also feel like a very alert, tense energy from Too Cute. She's flipped the without you actually seeing her do this. She has flipped the bat under her arm and stuffed her other hand in her pocket, so she's not holding it in this like ready position. And she's kind of pulled her visor a little lower, but her eyes continue to dart from PMC to PMC, and she is very, very uncomfortable, but she's very composed as well.
Can I like put my hand on like her arm to like reassure her?
You can.
Okay.
You reach out and touch her arm, and she doesn't flinch, but she looks down at your hand and then looks up at you and then raises an eyebrow. And she opens her mouth to say something, and then doesn't.
Okay.
And she just looks at the PMC, the back of the PMC, who was like leading the group.
Thank you so much for your escorting. We won't come out. When will we be able to come out, if we may ask?
He doesn't reply to the thank you, and in response to the question, he pauses for a second and says, "That information will be publicly released at a later date.
Okay.
For the time being, you will need to stay indoors to the best of your ability."
Okay. I guess you can't give me a ballpark of how many nights I should order this room for?
Unfortunately, no.
Understandable. Thank you. I'm not gonna try and get you in trouble.
He actually seems a lot more put at ease with that, for the fact that he's like some of his fan energy has crept out, and he's supposed to be a fucking big tough mean guard man. But after another minute or two of walking, you make it to a reasonable hotel. It's not super fancy, but it's not a motel either.
Okay.
And as you're ushered inside, you can see on the inside lobby area, there are throngs of people shoveled in here. Some of them, like, there's a stroller with a kid in one. There's a handful of like teenagers, there's a couple of adults, and just varying, like some of them in a suit, some of them in some workout gear. There's a person who was very clearly on a jog, and all of them are just confused. There's this this hum of disgruntled people energy. And as you're like escorted in and the doors close behind you, the guard, the squad leader, like does a sort of not a chin scratch, but he like twiddles a finger awkwardly and just goes, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Sorry it had to be so strange.
Oh, it's okay. I understand. You keep doing the best you can, okay? I believe in you.
He nods and just goes, thank you. And as he walks away, I assume there's like some like streamer gesture that you have, kind of like a Sailor Moon thing. And he does that gesture very surreptitiously while the other two in his squad aren't looking.
Okay, we're gonna go, I'm gonna have them go, get the room, and meanwhile I'm gonna text to, Legacy, and I'm gonna relay everything that he told me.
Okay. So, back at the room, Lockhart, you spun around, came back in, and closed the door and locked it. Then Dr. Veloska, at the sound of the door, again, just tromps out and just goes, "Oh, der Fuhrer. This is new."
We likely won't be seeing them for a while, if at all.
Wait,
Until
what?
the lockdown's gone.
He seems
Yes.
indifferent about it.
Your friend and her friends wanted to go get a hotel. Let them. They don't care. So, PMCs are roaming around, and I don't think it's very safe to leave. Okay.
Legacy and Kaya, you both get text messages. Kaya, you get a text message from Bastion. It is a link to a news article talking about the experimental tech failure in Seahin Ward that has led to a major shutdown of that part of the station. The article doesn't detail many reasons. It only rehashes the fact that the Tetsuo CEO is sort of claimed full responsibility. He's taking care of it. He wants the best for the station, etc., etc. But excuse me. You can see images in the article of pictures of Seahin Ward with a handful of PMCs shot in the best light you can shoot a PMC, standing at different various points on the main thoroughfare to the ward from the train station or the monorail. And Legacy, you get a text from Marcus that is a handful of pictures. He is on the monorail, and you can see that there are pictures of him as he is passing Seahin Ward. There are HVACs landed on the track to prevent travel inwards via monorail, and there are some that are actually patrolling in the skies above it. He doesn't have any text, it's just an image that you can see of these HVACs all over the place, like bees.
Alright, so it's preventing the monorail from turning into the station of Seahin Ward, but not shutting it all down.
Yes, so the monorail can't get in. You can technically walk from station to station. It just takes so much longer. And you also will have to go through checkpoints. Think of it like going through airport security, except you walk in and then walk out.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's not great on many levels. It looks like we are surrounded. We're in the middle of a hive. That's what we are.
Whatever that thing is, we need to figure it out.
Well, it made Ben Getty kind of freak out too, so...
What?
Yeah, wait. Wait, Benghetti. You
What?
didn't pass out.
No,
Obviously not.
but he like
Didn't pass
froze
out.
and his eyes started doing weird shit. And I don't know that he was breathing.
Lockhart's jaw just stiffened, like, just sets, you know?
Kai's gonna squint at him and like bend down and just like peer at him. It's like, the fuck?
He looks normal.
He
You can
looks
tell that he was sweating
normal.
for a little bit because his clothes are a little. They have the vestige of dampness on them.
I mean, he can look at it again and you can see what he does. Better than passing out, I guess.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Why didn't he pass out?
Well,
Well, maybe it's one eye
You know-
versus two.
to be honest, it's a little difficult to remember precisely what I saw. So I'm wondering if I even looked at it long enough to even internalize what I was looking at. It looked like he like starts to trail off, and you can see him start to stare into the middle distance. He goes, like a stream of consciousness of a machine, if that makes any sense.
Can you write it down?
Oh,
Wait,
Fucking-
you did give me like a description of just seeing like a whole bunch of shit all at once, right?
yes, you saw a bunch of information and code moving and rewriting itself, and it was overwhelming.
Do I remember
Um,
any bits and pieces of that?
You can try. Go ahead and roll me a clever check, and you can add your hacking skill to this. If you want to do that, of course.
So basically, it was a brain blast, but bad.
Oh, brain bomb! Okay. So, 6 and a 2, huh? So, you start to think about it for a second, and Kaya and Lockhart, you are watching. I assume you're both watching very intently on the two
Mhm.
gremlins.
Mhm.
Yes.
As you are watching them, you start to hear Ben Getty describe, to the best of his ability, Ben Getty starts to describe seeing some kind of city, and he is like, it felt like it was underwater, but there wasn't any water. If that makes any sense, which I know it doesn't, but it had towers there, and they were lit up with information. It was just an infinite space. I saw what looked to be some kind of person strapped to a chair. I don't know though. And the person in the chair had cables coming out of his head and his arms and his legs. And these cables ran off into these towers, but he was suspended in the air. Not by the cables. It looked like he was sitting in a chair on top of a glass plane. It didn't really make sense. It was very dreamlike. And Legacy, that image starts to coalesce in your mind, and then as he's describing it, you get the exact image in your head. It is a person, some sort of humanoid person, sitting in a very deep type of recliner chair. and there are cables jutting out of their head, out of their elbows, out of their arms. It looks like hair that has grown into this nightmarishly thick cord that streams out around the chair and behind them, streaking off into various towers. And these towers are just oblique obelisks that shoot up into the sky and have various lights and flickering on and off. There's no real floor, but the person sitting in the chair seemed to be suspended on like an invisible glass plane. And they were asleep or dreaming? You're not sure. You knew they weren't dead. And that those cables feeding into the towers, they were connected to that person, if you can call it that.
She'll try to kind of fumble over that additional explanation. And were his eyes open? Was it the same eyes?
It was the same. Yes.
Yeah, and she'll pause and be like, I think that was whoever that thing used to be. Or whatever part of that thing used to be human. The eyes were the same.
The image starts to come more clearly to you as you remember the image of the eyes frozen in this wide open state, just staring straight ahead into nothing. Into the different forest of towers that just glow with some bluish green effervescence. And those two human eyes on this shape somehow don't seem human enough anymore. Like you've gone back over the hill of the Uncanny Valley in the wrong direction. Or too far in the right direction.
This... She starts to like fumble, and then she kind of squints at the laptop, and laptop's angled again so she can't really see anything when she's just staring at it.
So to give you an idea, so it's vaguely like this image, but instead of sunglasses, the dude's eyes are like wide open, and the cables run out of his arms, his legs, the back of his head, back and away from where he's looking. I don't know if that makes it a little bit easier to imagine.
Yeah. She just like pauses and tilts her head. This is some of the weirdest programming ever. She looks at Bengetti. It kind of is trying to read him for a second. Organic AI?
Oh, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of anything like this. If it is not synthetic AI. Synthetic AI is man-made. This is alive, right? Like, you understood that it's alive. You got that same sort of He just starts to vaguely whip his hands around in the air, like vibe.
She nods slightly.
Well, it looks like it was watching, or looking, or observing something. Just kind of receiving input. And I wonder if all those towers were like storing information, because I mean, if it's constantly absorbing information, it wouldn't be able to keep all of it on tap at once. It would have to do something with it.
It needs to be sending it somewhere. It needs to be sending it somewhere. And she starts like patting herself, looking for the piece, and realizes it's gone, and then starts looking around the room.
I pull it out of my pocket and hold it with 3 fingers.
She bounces over and grabs it, and I want her to try and tear it apart and see if there's anything, because it's bits and pieces of scrap metal in it, right?
It's like a burr, essentially, is from, like, how I kind of imagined it was like how you imagine a rose kind of pulls out, but metal? Is that kind of a good description?
It's the cabling piece that you have. It looked like. Let me see if I can find something.
I just imagine like what you imagine like a paper mache rose kind of looks like, but metal was my mental image, at least, you know.
So it's that's pretty close, because there are bits of fraying pointed metal that comes off of it. But this was the antenna, so it's coiled, and because it was broken, part of the broken piece kind of splays outward, and it something like, let's see, this isn't perfect, but something like this, just not as brightly colored, obviously. And then where it's that band, just imagine that band goes all the way down, and those individual strands, they would be elongated and kind of splayed outward, kind of like a squid.
Legacy, so that's very clearly a transfer cable of some sort, though, right?
It's sort of a it is a melted, weird mess of a cable. It's hard to divine its purpose, because without any sort of connecting end, it could just transfer a signal. Like it doesn't necessarily have any overt purpose other than being a metal line. You can remember, though, from seeing it, this looks like the piece that would connect from the human portion head of the creature back to the body. Or the bulk, sorry.
So she takes it and she kind of starts like fiddling with it, and like I imagine tries to like pull like one cable like out, or kind of like split it just a little bit as she's like examining it closer.
Do you need a hand?
No, I'm thinking.
Ben-Getty like scuttles over, and he perches like over your shoulder, kind of like an annoying younger brother who wants to see what you're doing. He doesn't interrupt you. He's just like getting annoyingly close to you to watch.
Legacy does not seem phased at all at the moment.
While she's doing that, Lockhart looks over, like, kind of, like, moves closer to Ben-Getty, like, away from Legacy to give her space to work. And she's trying not to distract Legacy with, like, what she's saying, but she kind of, like, she basically says, whatever it is, Tetsuo's fire ants are after it, which can't be good.
Ben Getty, hearing that, just kind of his attention snaps up to you, and he just goes, "Wait, Tetsuo's guys are after this? Like the PMC guys? Well, I know you said PMCs, but it's like those guys.
Those guys.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, now they are involved in this. So this is obviously not just... I'm starting to believe you about this monster, because there's no other reason I could see all of this fuss about for just a weird piece of experimental tech from Tetsuo.
If this, whatever this is a synthetic, not synthetic, organic human, or organic cybernetics, Tetsuo would have a field day with that kind of technology.
It would, it would literally bridge the gap between man and machine. We've already gone the full gambit of using machine in man, and also making machine into a processing device capable of sapient thought. This is the next combination that could actually mean anything. It would effectively be making it full circle. I don't know what the implications of that are, but I figure that Tetsuo wants to make it money somehow.
Lockhart has a look in her eye. And, she walks over calmly, grabs a Red Bull, and grabs one. She needs something to fucking calm down, come on. She goes over, grabs a Red Bull.
The minute you touch the can, Ben Getty's watching you, he does grab your hands and he's like, I want one.
I toss it to him.
Nice. He catches it and just somehow, Kaya, you watch him catch a thrown can with more dexterity than holding on to a soldering iron. So he catches it, pops it open, and takes a swig.
He has the same sort of mental defect that Legacy has of just the Red Bull can is magnetically attracted to their hands.
Yeah. I imagine Kaya during this conversation as an excuse for Amy going full note taker for the past 10 minutes. Kaya's kind of just plopped down on the floor, a couple feet away from them, not too far. She can hear everything, but she just sat down. And Larry's still there, guys. Larry comes up to her, and if she sees Ben Getty catch the fucking Red Bull can perfectly, she'll go to Larry, just what the fuck is up with this guy? Jesus fucking Christ. Just quietly,
Ring,
just to
ring.
Larry.
Message from Lindas. You have
Ring,
one missed
ring.
call.
She'll pick up. Who is it to? Kaya?
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to beat the legacy.
I don't know. Alright. So Kaya will pick up, and the first thing she's gonna say is, "Hey, Lynn, look, I'm sorry for snapping earlier. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry."
It's whatever. I made it to the hotel safely. Got one of the army people to talk a bit. They're saying it's faulty, a tech failure, not a terrorist attack. They're planning on keeping the ward locked down basically indefinitely. And yeah, they're not letting anybody on the streets. We're fine now.
You're alright?
Yeah, we're fine. We're at the nearest hotel. We're gonna get a room now. Too cute's swinging her baseball bat wildly, demanding a room.
I mean,
Except not really, but
I mean,
Sort of.
aren't all of y'all just like popular or something?
Well, that's how I got here to begin with. I think it's time for them to work their magic.
All right, fair enough. Update me, see, make sure. Ugh, sorry, I'm tired. Update me, make sure. Let me know if you guys are all right.
Will do.
Well, all right, stay safe. Try not to go out as much as possible.
Lindis, roll me a cool check and add your streamer bonus to it. Lindis? Oh, okay. 10. Okay, so as you finish the phone call and Too Cute, you're sitting there with Cosmic because Cosmic is fucking helpless. He's just kind of vibing. He got you a green tea from the vending machine. He doesn't know if you like it, but he likes it. And as you're sitting there, you hear like a couple of hushed whispers of people like, "Holy shit, what is?" And then you turn your head and you can see there was a group of kind of youngish high school, college age kids, and they all like look at you with this kind of confusion. But then there's a moment where one of them is like nodding his head, and you can see the look of recognition. And he like this guy shoves an elbow into his friend's and just like nods his head and then gets up and starts to walk over to you. And he just goes like he's clearly recognizes you from somewhere. I wonder where it could be from. But as he walks over, he just goes, are you actually Signal Pink?"
I do the like little gesture, whatever it is that I do.
He like there's a moment where you saw the starstruckedness that you saw Ben Getty have for Cosmic happens to this dude, and he is like struggling to contain himself. He's like, holy shit! He covers his mouth, just goes, sorry, I'm not trying to shout. It's like really awkward that we're all just shoved in here now, but whoa, holy fuck, okay, I don't have paper. Oh my god, why are you here? What are you, you're not, what? He's like really confused, scrambling for words, and then he looks over to his friends and looks back to you and looks over to his friends and looks back to you, and he's like, listen, they're all really big fans too, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but it would be really cool if you, I don't know, maybe said hi to them. And he gestures to his group of friends. There's about 7 or 8 people.
Yeah, I've got time until Too Cute sets up the room. Yeah, bring him over.
He blinks and just goes, too cute? Like,
yeah?
Too cute for you? And
and this is
like,
Cosmic's right here.
He like Cosmic is more recognizable when he is wearing the brand clothing.
Mm-hmm.
But he turns and he just goes, oh my whole, and he stands up and like it just kind of like waves his hands, just whoa, and then he runs back over to his friends. He's like, guys, and as he goes back over there, you can see as they're all hanging out, there's a couple of logos on their clothing that is like, it's effectively like the StarCraft logo, right? It's the logo of the game that you were famous for playing, and they're all like, 2 of them are wearing hoodies with that image on it, and one of them has like a lanyard with a key set, and the lanyard has that pattern on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy walks back over. He's like, the whole group of them come over and start fawning over you, and they're all talking about it, and they're all like, oh my god, could you sign this thing, and blah blah blah. It was like the only writing utensil they have is like a ballpoint pen, which is just, it's not going to sign for shit on anything that they have, but they're all just lauding over you, and it's starting to draw a crowd to this minor crowd, because other people in this room who have been kind of shunted in here from the streets are like, who the fuck is that? What the fuck's going on? Is this like supposed to be here? And you're starting to draw like actual strangers who are getting kind of close and curious.
Mm-hmm.
And right around this time, Too Cute walks back. She is just kind of casually twirling the bat. There's a security guard at the desk, and he doesn't seem to stop her from doing it. He just kind of lets her. You're not sure if they had an exchange of words, but you kind of get the impression they may have. But she walks over, and then the fan group that are all over there, all over you, immediately like erupt even more. To which Too Cute, unfazed, just like unquestioningly, she sort of shifts into fan mode, where she holds herself a little bit more rigidly, and like is a little bit more protective of her personal space. But she's definitely like, okay, cool, I guess there's fans in here now. And they're just like trying to volley for your attention and recap all of their favorite moments from X game and Y convention and Z tournament and whatever. One of the hotel members walks over and just goes, excuse me, it's causing a bit of noise. Do you want like a conference room or something that you can just parlay in for however long? Like, we've got a little bit of a surge of people coming in.
I looked at Too Cute. Did you get our room?
Too Cute nods. I got us the deluxe.
Perfect. Well, I'll be down later. I would like to get some rest for now, but maybe they have some markers. I'll come back and sign everything for you guys.
All of them are like, there's not a collective groan, but there is that feeling of like, oh fuck, holy shit, oh man, she didn't sign anything, but okay, she's not leaving, she's going upstairs, so it's okay, right? She'll come back. And then Too Cute just like raises her eyebrow at the fans and then looks at you and just goes, shall we go? And she like holds out her hand in this kind of welcoming gesture. And Cosmic kind of gets up with his hands in his pockets and just starts shuffling towards the elevators.
Yep. See you guys later. Wink.
The whole crowd. Oh, she did the thing! And then you can hear one dude in the middle of the crowd just like, I'm pogging out of my fucking mind!
You were so cringe.
I know I'm cringe, I'm sorry.
It's not cringe at all. It's base AF.
I'm based.
Base AF.
Yeah.
For the record, these people are all like, there's like a range of early to mid 20 somethings. So if they're cringe, we are cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us is cring.
Here, I'll put it in. I'll speak it into existence.
Just type it in the notes. We are cring.
No. All of the slang that I just taught Iris today.
Amazing. And flashback, you, Legacy, were fiddling with that cable wire.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to pull it apart and get it to the inside?
Yeah, a little bit. She's doing it carefully enough that it seems like it'll destroy it. She doesn't want to destroy it completely as of yet. But she's trying to see if she can get to like figure out some of the components of this.
Mm-hmm. So you can roll me a tough roll or a quick roll, and I will let you add your hacking bonus to this. Not because you are physically hacking, for whoever is gonna suggest, like, that's a dumb way to fucking rule it. No, it's hacking like your information prying and tech-related thing. Fuck you,
Yeah,
random
take that,
Twitch guy I
random
made up.
viewer.
Yeah, fuck you.
Damn it. I don't roll clever, I don't roll good.
So, you're holding it, and you're trying to peel it apart. It's a little difficult. You have an idea of how to get at it. And after a second, Ben Getty reaches a hand over and hands you a Phillips head or not a Phillips head. He hands you a regular screwdriver, and he will allow you to re-roll your 1, just so you can crack it open a little bit without breaking it. Okay, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So with that, you flip it around in your hand and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it, and then part of the metal banding on the outside flex open, and you start to peel it. And as you peel it back and kind of look at the inside, you can see there are cables that, as you peel it back, you can see that there are thin strands of wire, like copper wiring, and it's coiled and weaving into and out of some kind of object. And you're like just stroking at it and trying to figure out what it is. It's clearly not all banded copper. It's like a mishmash of stuff. And as you pull apart more and more, you can see there's some of the shards of metal, the spiky pieces that fall and tink to the ground. But as you dig your thumbs in and pull apart one good chunk of it, you see what looks to be in the core of this cabling a blue and reddish tendril. And it takes you a second because you've never seen one of these outside of a textbook. But you can actually look at and see this vein and capillary system that has been severed on opposite sides where the cable ends. And it has been suffused with copper wires weaving into and out of it, as if the cabling and the veins have become one entity. And that is where we're going to end the session.